Everyone, Krishna this side. So in this video, I'll be covering bi-weekly contest 160, and the question first. We'll start with first question. So just let me know if you want solution for second as well as third. I'll just make the videos. Fourth question I couldn't solve it because I got stuck with second question. I couldn't read it properly, and yes, due to that it consumed a lot of time. So yes, just let me know if you want a solution for second and third. Fourth, if you want, I'll just try to solve it and then I'll cover that one. Okay. So the first question is like hexadecimal and hexatrigesimal conversion. It's easy problem. Let's read the problem statement. It is said that you are given an integer n, written the concatenation of hexadecimal representation of n square and hexatrigesimal representation of n cube. So hexadecimal number is defined as base 16 numeral system that uses digit 0 to 9 and uppercase letter A to F to represent values from 0 to 15. For hexatrigesimal, it is defined as base 36 numeral system that uses a digit 0 to 9 and uppercase letters A to Z to represents values from 0 to 35. So if number n is been given, let's suppose 13 is given, so we have to get its squares, n square, whatever the value that we get, to just convert this value into hexadecimal, like this is the answer that we get, and get n cube. So just convert this value in hexadecimal and get its corresponding value, and both of the answers we have to concatenate. Okay. So the first thing is like how to get any base values that is been given, right? So for hexadecimal, it is like whatever the value is been given, we have to have. It is said that base 16 is what we will be having, and all the numbers from 0 to 9 we can represent it, and going ahead like 10, 11, all these numbers will get represented by A, B, C till F. Okay, so 15 number will get represented as F because 16 digits will be there, 0 to 9, all the digits from 10 onwards to 15 they will get represented with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Sorry, till F it will be represented. Okay. So for decimal numbers, whenever the value has been decimal, so all digits that we have in this one, they are formed with help of 0, 1, 2 till 9, correct? For binary numbers like base 2, all the numbers basically formed with 0 or 1. But for 3, like if 3 is basically there, so they are like 1, 0, 1, 2. In this fashion, numbers basically form. How to get these values, right? So it is pretty much easy. Like for base 2, whenever we try to convert any decimal number into this binary formation, what we basically do, we basically divide that number with 2. So 37, if we try to divide, it is like 1 here, it is 8, I guess. Okay, sorry, 18 is something what we will get, and the whatever the remainder that we get, we are considering right over here. So again, this 18 we will divide, 9 is something what we get, remainder is 0. Again, when we divide this, 4 is something what we get, here it is 1. Again, when we divide, it is 2, here remainder is 0. When we divide this, 1 is something what we get, 0 is something what remainder we will left. So this one, again, we cannot divide it further. So from downward onwards, we will go upside. 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is like binary representation of 37. Correct? Now, if it is asked like hexadecimal number representation of this 37, right? So base is 16. So same thing, we will simply divide it with 16. So 37 is right over here. So 16 twos are like 32, and remainder is like 5. 5 is the remainder that we get, correct? So again, this 2 we cannot further divide it with 16. So the answer that we get is like 2, 5. 25 is the answer that we get. So 37 number in hexadecimal representation, which is like base 16, is been represented as 25. Okay. So yes, again, like let us suppose if the value get exceed whatever the reminder that we are getting, if it is 10, 11 or till 15, we can get it, right? So if these reminders that we get, we have to simply consider in their replacement A, B, and for 15 it is like F. Okay, that's the simple thing we have to apply right over here. Okay, so from 0 to 9, all the reminders we can simply consider them. But at any point in time, if reminder goes beyond this 9, it is like 10, 11 till 15. Because when we divide number any number with 16, at max reminder we can get is like 15. Okay. So yes, it is like if 31 is something what we have. So 31 when we divide with 16, 1 is something what we will get, and 15 is the reminder that we get it. Okay, 1 cannot be further divided. So while going downward, like 1 and 15, this 15 can be represented as F. So 1F is the representation of hexadecimal for this 31 number. Okay. So 1F is the representation of 31 number. Correct. So that's how we can get it. Like again, for 36, base 36, it is pretty much same. So let us suppose 71 is the value that we have. Okay. So 71, when we try to divide with 36, it is like 1. Sorry, it is like 1 because 36 into 2 is like 72. So 71, when we try to divide, it is like 1 is the value that we get it. So 36 divided by 71, it is like 1. Here when we divide, subtract, this value that we will get is like 35, I guess. That is the value that we get it, right? So when we subtract this value, okay, 35 is the value that we will get. Okay, so for 35th bit, okay, 35th, whatever the 35th value that we have, 35 is the reminder that we are getting. For 35, what is the representation? 1 to 9 values we can represent from 10 onwards. 10 is basically represented with A, and 11, 15, 15 got represented with F. So on, if we try to go, 35 will basically get represented with G. Okay, so you can consider that A is basically represented with 10. So on, when we try to go further ahead, 35th is basically get represented with G. So basically we will simply collect these reminders. So 1 and 35 is basically represented with C. So 1Z is the answer that we will get. So 71 number, when we try to convert it into hexadecimal number, its answer is 1Z. So same thing that we have to do. Now here, if we look into this solution that I have written, I am not going to write the solutions again, but you can simply understand it. So first thing that I have done is n square is something what I have taken out. N into n, I have multiplied it. To get the cube, simply I took the square and again multiplied it with n. Both the values that we have. Now simple thing is like we just need to get their conversion. So these numbers are basically decimal numbers. If I want to get the hexadecimal number, I have created this get conversion function. In that I pass this n square value, because for n square we want to get the hexadecimal. For n cube we want to get the hexadecimal number. Okay. So what I have done, this function basically represents common functionality. So whatever the value that we have, it is the value which we will keep on dividing with this base value, right? So if it has been asked for conversion of binary numbers, here I would have passed simply 2, because ultimately this, whatever this value that we have, we will keep on dividing this number, and remainder is something what we will keep on collecting. Okay, so in this get conversion, if we notice, the value is something what we have, the base value is also we have. So I have created a string builder to collect all the reminders. Okay, and this string digit basically represents all the values that we can have. Okay, for till hexadecimal. Oh, okay. So 0 to 9 digits we can get it easily, but from going onwards, 10, 11, whatever the reminders that I get, these values basically I represent it. So at any point in time, let us suppose 30 is value that I get when I try to divide 36 with any number. Okay, with 36, if I try to divide any number, let us suppose 30 is the remainder that I get. So from this digit of 30, digit at character of 30 is value, the y is value that we get, that I can easily pull out. If 10 is the remainder that I can get, so I can digit dot caret 10. If I try to get, a is the value that I can easily get it, right? So yes, these digit values basically represent all the digits that I need to get it. Okay, so now simple thing is like I'll create a reminder here, and we will keep on dividing this val with this base value, and reminder is something what we have to collect. So until this value is basically less than 0, we will keep on dividing it. Okay, so the first thing is like this, whatever the reminder that we get it when we divide this value, okay, with this modulo operator, we can get it easily, the reminder, right? So reminder is something what I have collected, and I have appended it into this digit. Okay, so initially let us suppose we are having 37 value. Okay, let us try to take let us take 256 value. Okay, when we try to modulo it with 16, it will be like 16 square only, right? So here the remainder is basically equals to 0 initially. When we divide this value got converted into 16 again, correct? So this 16 again, when we try to modulo again, it is like 0. 0 is the value that we get. Again 16 when divide, the 1 is the remainder that we get. So this, whatever the reminders that we are getting, 0, 0, 1, these type of reminders that we will get it. Okay, these type of reminders, and that is something what I kept on appending into the string value. Okay, so how we read this answer? So it should be like 1, 0, 0. That's how basically from downwards onwards we go it, right? So whatever the reminders that I am getting it. Okay, so here all these reminders that we are getting, so simply we are dividing it with 16. So here the first reminder that I got, I appended it into the string. Again, this 0 is something what I got when divided with 18, that is something what I have appended it. So we will keep on reducing this value by dividing it. First we get the reminder and then append it into the string, whatever the reminder that we got. Again, this value simply divide it with base 16 so that it will get reduced. Okay, so that is the same operation that we do it right over here also, right, if you notice carefully. So these reminders, what I have done, I have added it from the top into the string. Now we need to read it from the downside, right? So what we will do, simply from the downside, to read it, we will simply reverse the string. Okay, we will simply reverse the string. While appending it, we will get it from the this digit string. Okay, so anything that we get, so if reminder is basically 1, at first it is like character is basically 1, so that is basically get appended right over here. Okay, it is pretty much straightforward. So from the string array, string value, this string, whatever the string that I have created, from there we can easily pull out the reminder value. Okay, whatever the reminder that we are getting it, that is something what we will keep on appending it. And ultimately this is like from top to bottom, whatever the reminders that we get, those something got appended into the string, so we have to reverse this string to read it from the downside. And I just added is, because this was the string builder, so I converted it into the two string. And for hexadecimal, that way we can get it. Now here for to get the hexatrigesimal, I pass this cube, whatever the cube that I got, and 36 is the base value with which we will keep on getting the reminder. Okay, that is something what I have done. Okay, and again we will divide it again, whatever the value that we are getting it. So same operation we will keep on doing it until this value basically equals to 0. Okay, so whatever these strings that we got, that is the concatenation of these both the values is something what we have to write into the output. So this value, whatever the answer that we get, and this answer, we will simply append it and return the answer. Okay, it is pretty much straightforward. We could have easily uh, further optimize this code, but with the help of this constraint and considering this problem is basically easy, this solution should work fine. Okay, yes, you can try it out, and just let me know if you want a solution for second as well as third question. I'll and as also for the fourth one, I'll just try it out. Oh, I haven't even read the question. Okay, fourth one, so I can read it now and I can try to solve it. Okay. So yes, let me know if you want further question solution as well. And if you are getting anything from this one, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as well. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.